Hello. Hello, hello. Looks like you've joined the call, but I cannot see any green circle going up around you, which means...
Oh,
there we go. Hello, how you doing, man?
All right, you?
Not bad. I saw you were already in StarCraft when I first woke up, so Battle.net not being as much of a dick today. Did you get many games in?
Well, I had a few that I didn't remember I'd done last night when I woke up this morning, so that was interesting. I had a couple, but then some friends, we did something else.
Cool. Always good to get a couple games in. So I know you had one replay, and you were like, oh, just down on me not having enough. But I think it's always helpful just to like look at the most important like things to focus on with that, because self-replay analysis and improving macro is great. So I'm already asking people in chat who are tuning in if there's any bronze, silver, gold Terrans. So obviously if they're like gold 1 and they're quite a bit higher than you, you're currently about silver 1, gold 3, I believe, right? You're kind of, if I remember correctly, somewhere around there. So if we get someone who's way higher, we'll just ask them to obviously not go too hard. If we get someone who's worse than you, well, we can still practice your build order and go through the motions, right? It's actually really helpful to practice against people who are a bit worse. So we've already got someone who plays random at silver. Iskurian, that would be really helpful. So please hop on chat on EU. So to help us out, /join space pig. I have got some old chat channels open on EU. Pig 2v2. Oh my lord. That's like the 2v2 tournament. I guess I was casting a long time ago. I think it was the 2v2 one we run. We haven't run a 2v2 tournament in a long time. Awesome, man. So if Iskurian gets on quickly... Oh, can you shout out in the chat channel, Iskurian? Because I don't know what your in-game is called. Because me and Drillana are here. You should see me and Drillana in... Try Pig and Piggy. I don't think... Am I in Pig? My Pig channel's not showing up, so try Piggy, P-I-G-G-Y. And also try Pig 2 if that doesn't work. Which just joined Pig 2v2 again. Stop it. Autofill. Alright. That's cool. Since we got someone so quickly, I guess we'll hop straight into games then. Sounds like a good plan, Drillana.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome, dude. Alright. Do you veto any maps?
I'm not a big fan of the one with a big airspace in the middle of it. You have to creep around the map. I can't remember what it's called.
Purity and Industry. Yes. Oh. It's a bit hard to attack on that map. So it's an interesting one. I actually like all the new maps because they're just interesting. But I also play random and alternate different playstyles. So I don't get enough repetitions to actually get frustrated. I know it's not necessarily due to any other reason. Okay, so you're up. Let's say thank you for helping Iskurian. Feel free to watch stream /unmute during between the games. But if you can mute during, that'd be great. And if you can go Terran, please, and play. So is it Cyclones especially that give you trouble, or is it battle cruisers as well? It's mostly Cyclone Hellion, right?
Cyclone Hellion's a thing. Battle cruisers you can generally deal with because you can see them just popping a couple of spores down and then just every so often increasing the spore content. You can keep them away a little bit. It's just the Hellion and Cyclone thing that really get... every time I come up against it, that's it, I'm done. It just sort of smashes me because my roaches aren't fast enough. When I'm looking away, they get drawn off creep. Which is, bad micro management sort of style, but it happens.
Absolutely, yeah. The early stages of defending Cyclones, like if you watch my games against BattleMech, there's a point where, I've got to pull back up a ramp and break the lock-ons and go back out and pull back up and do a bit of micro. And then, once 2 rounds of roaches get out, it's all fine off 3 bases. And it's a lot easier, once roach feeds out and all that. So there's a lot of pieces that need to come together. So let's just play some games, see if we can identify the best ones. Ascurian said has muted the stream. Says Terran's not my best. I'm not sure if they've played Battlemech before, so we'll see how it goes. So we're still going to be looking for someone else. I think I'm getting the game sound. Was that echoing from you, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay, that's weird. That's cool. I can always turn you down in-game anyway. What was I saying? Just play your game. We'll keep looking for someone else so we can see if there's anyone else who's like maybe a Gold League Battlemech player. Because I do feel like we can probably go up to like a Plat 3 or a Gold 1 opponent playing Battlemech, since I'm going to be talking in your ear and directing you anyway a little bit. So for this game, I want you to just get in your groove. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to hunt for an opponent in chat. I'm going to write some notes. Just get in your groove, play your game, and good luck, have fun, mate. Okay, I'm turning him way down. So he's got his speakers on again. Which is, because I think he's using Discord on his phone. Maybe because he doesn't have a mic, something like that. I remember Drolana had an interesting setup because he'd had to like move houses and stuff recently. So that's cool. So I've turned him way down so we don't hear every single game sound, and also the lovely in control voice back there echoed too much. First hatch is a few seconds late, but not too bad. I'm not really going to nitpick stuff like that. Until he gets out of Gold League, a few seconds on a hatchery, I'm actually not going to care about right now. We've talked about stuff like that in the past, so, me hammering at home, it's not the most important. What we want to talk about is more high value points. So I'll still write some notes if I see anything that's like here the spawning pool is just super late. Spawning pool.
Our drones are in need of a hero.
Okay. Forgot spawning pool. Hatch was a few seconds late. Game 1 versus Ascurian. So he's spending a bit too much time microing this drone, we can see. Spent quite a few seconds microing
Our
the
drones
drone.
are under attack.
Try to queue it a bit more rapidly and not spend as much APM on that. Okay. Yeah. Remember 20 Overlord, 19 or 20. So this supply block is not that major, but you can still see 400 minerals, a bunch of lava. There's also kind of, I think staying on 20 drones in the main, totally fine. For Drolana, actually, the level he is at, I prefer it be like 18, but a few extra is totally fine. Obviously, it's a bit more efficient if you move them down to the natural, but we want to work in broad strokes for now. So let's just, the lava is being spent. We've got some pretty good overlord positioning in general. Like, it would be better if obviously this overlord was here, this overlord was out here, and then you fill in the edges. That is definitely something we can work on. Overlords. So third overlord sat above natural. Should be out front, giving us more vision.
Evolution complete.
44 supply block. He hasn't realized. But he realizes pretty quickly. Honestly,
nice.
Yeah. For the league he's at, it's still like insane macro. This is insane macro for Silver 1, Gold 3. It's just, can he keep it up, right? So that's an insanely fast Evo chamber. Like, double Evo chamber, you do not need that early. Double Evo is super fast. So what I find with most people is even if they're really good at building drones at the very start and that sort of stuff, same with Terran, same with Protoss, the moment they start building tech and upgrades and things, it's like suddenly they're occupying their RAM or like their bandwidth, and they tend to forget. So we'll keep our eyes on this and see like, hey, there's lava starting to stack up at the same time as the lair, the evos. Now the gases are going down. Only has the gas to start one upgrade. Is going for all the gases, but we've just frozen completely on building drones for several minutes now. So that's... And then build 7 drones, but guess what? That wasn't all the lava. So what's going on? Why did we not spend all the lava there? It's...
You made it.
Just didn't hold the key down long enough. Because we had supply and we had minerals. So that's one of those habits I always pick up on. Okay. Double Evo is super fast. The moment we go Evos, Roachhorn, Lair, gases, we stop building drones for a minute or so. Remember to do all these parts of your build while, you know, sorry, not while, but in between
Our army be scrapped.
rounds
Our drones
of
are in
macro
need of a
cycle.
hero.
So, what's it look like, guys? Inject, inject,
Our
inject.
drones are under attack.
Spend lava, build overlords, double Evo, Roachhorn, lair plus gases, start another macro cycle. And that's kind of how you want to structure it. So whether that's a thing where there's too much like, ooh, what do I do now? Is it Evos? Is it Roachhorn? Maybe it's not committed to memory. Maybe it's just a bad habit. But yeah. You can see here, once again, 9 level. Let's double check those control groups. All hatcheries are control grouped.
We hulked this out.
But not producing consistently. So yeah, it's like starting to do, and then just built 5 drones. There was still 2 lava left. Let's keep our eyes on that. Not always spending every bit of lava. Leaving 2, 5, 6 lava behind. Not sure if not holding key down enough or repeat rate and delay needs to be adjusted. So let's double check this, since I think we got set up on a new PC since our first coaching
Mineral
session
field depleted.
way back. So that's something we've got to check now. It's like, hey, wait a second. Do we adjust the repeat rate and repeat delay? These overlords just kind of chilling over the army. I love it. Chilling over the third. So it hasn't saturated 3 bases yet. We can see the 4 gases are going, but hasn't put on those gases. It'd be good to be taking a 4th about now, as well as, you know, getting those gases up. Has a pretty good roach army. Let's see. Did these drones get rallied anywhere? No. So what's Drillana doing? Let's get in Drillana's head right now. All right, so it's taking a 4th. I prefer the other 4th. Takes the gases at the same time, so that gives me a boner. If you guys start to batch up actions, at points in the game, especially later, like at the very start, obviously if you take the gases on your natural at the same time you start your natural hatchery, that's really shit. You can't afford a few drones. But if you batch it up there, I'm turgid as a rock, you know? I'm getting excited. Anyone out there, by the way, we are still looking for someone who's about a gold 1, plat 3 battle mech player. Someone who can do that for us. I see like Kilkenny and stuff and some other people who can do it. Yeah, I think it's going to be really hard for you to slow down to the required pace, Kilkenny. But if you think you could do it for us, I'd definitely be able to do it. Ooh-wee. If you're the right MMR and you want to help us out, please be very specific in chat and be like, I am this MMR, blah, blah, blah. Hey, he remembered Roach Speed. He only queued up 1 Hydra upgrade, which I'm a bit sad about. But, yeah, the Roach Speed being slow is like, so crucial. Like, Roach Speed in general is one of the most important upgrades.
We evolved. Stuff got better.
Roach Speed
The minerals have up and gone.
So Ascurian should just have been like factory, factory, factory. So you can see this base is what I call a shit show. Yeah, you can see how hard it is for Ascurian to place buildings. This is like 90% of Terran players, right through to Masters, as not throwing down structures organized and quickly enough and putting them in really random positions all the time. Hey, what are we doing? You're making a lot of random upgrades in creep spread right now, mate. You've been almost max for 2 minutes now. Remember the rule. You're also droning a 4th base. 3 bases of workers at max. This is the absolute max of workers. And go look for fights. You've got a maxed out army for a long time. You're not actually finishing maxing out. You're making a lot of useless upgrades. Go punch your opponent in the face. That is the rule. As soon as you start getting a big army up, which could have been a few minutes ago, you get out on the map. Make more hydras. You got 20 supply free. Keep making units and go kill your opponent. And this should always be what you're looking for. You've got so much money you can remax again, but go kick some ass and go for the throat, dude. Yeah. This is something so many people do, guys. They defend, they defend, they defend. They build a big economy. They build a big army. And then they just sit there in the corner just fapping. And this is something why I always talk to people where every strategy you do, you should have a pre-planned attack before the game even comes out. A moment where you're planning to move out. Something that forces you to go and use that advantage that you've spent the whole game defending and building up. If you don't use that, well, your army is going to expire. You're going to give your opponent time to get the army that counters it.
The minerals have up and gone.
A move in there. Come on. There's no need to run away from that. So right now we're running away. No reason. A move it. And morph an overseer. So you should always have an overseer with your army. A move. Just a move. You've got to attack move. Yeah. There we go. Good stuff. So this is why you always have 2 overseers with your army to provide high ground vision. Always. So let's make overseers, add them to our army, and make sure we keep bringing more units and keep producing, do more injects, and kick some ass. We also did much better with your upgrades this game, but you forgot the Hydra movement speed. And your units still aren't attack moved. They're all on move command still. You got this, man.
Mineral field depleted.
I couldn't hear anything he was saying. If he was responding to me, I don't think he was.
It's every game like that as well, though. I just sort of, it's going to be happening for a little bit. I just don't
Sorry, it's really hard to hear you, mate, because your speakers are really loud, so I can hear all the game sounds as well. So, yeah, because your speakers are on, so you can always just press Control S on your keyboard. And that should mute your in-game audio temporarily when we're at the end like this. And that way, it'll stop kind of drowning you out. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, it's weird. I do that most games. I'll get attacked and then I'll hold it, and then I'll just go on a holding pattern where I'll just play creed, get upgrades, and I won't attack. I'll just sit back. It's really odd. I've tried. There's a few times I have attacked. I've won quite quickly, but other times I just sort of sit back. So I think I'm ahead. So it's like. Yeah.
So you got to use that lead though, right? Because you're not making an end game army. Look, if your up on 7 bases, if you macro straight to 7 bases, you're making triple evo upgrades, double spire upgrades, pathogen glands, vipers, broodlords, corruptors, infestors. You can play mega late game. If you do that before you're in GM, you're a fucking maniac, right? It's like a Villo Zerg, you know? You're just sitting in your corner of the map. So what we want to do is you've built a sick economy advantage. You got to do a better job. Open this replay, the stream up so you can watch me replay analyze real quick. You just need to choose a point to say, I need to fucking go at this time every game. You need to get out of that mindset. And I was saying to the stream, I had my mic mute, I was like, this is something I see everybody do at all leagues. They defend, they build a sick advantage, and then they sit in their corner of the map and they just sit there. And the advantage over time just disappears because they're building that same early game army or mid game army, which was good, but it's going to expire. If you give your opponent enough time, they can make a better army that counters yours. They can make an economy that catches up to yours, right? So people, because they're defending and they're macroing and they're very busy, they lose track of where they are in the game. So it's probably the same with you. I would imagine that's the same sensation where you're just in this mode of defending and that becomes the default. So you just keep defending. So what you've got to do is you say, no. Like at this point, it's fucking time to go. Let's go. So first things first, always queue up both Hydroden upgrades. We only queued up range. We forgot the movement speed. More importantly than that, roach speed is the most important upgrade in the game for your composition. Without that, your roaches are the slowest little waddly boys, you know? We want them to be sprinty boys. It's like the difference between an old school 1960s, 1970s zombie movie where they're like, brains, and a fucking, you know,
28 years later.
Yeah, exactly. With I'm fucking running at you, tearing your throat out, right? There's a very big difference. One of them, you're like, wait, why are the old zombies scary? Like, you could literally beat them with a mop. Like, they're so bad. They're so useless. Same thing with roaches. So roach speed is really important.
My heart's beating. My hands are shaking. My hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting.
Ooh, sorry guys. Thank you very much, Creighton, for the raid. Thank you very much, AK Distillery and Lil Nidus for the subs. I really appreciate the support, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, doing a little bit of coaching. So now we need to join markers. How the fuck do we choose when to go fight? So what I'm going to say for you, dude, is literally what are our attack timings? This is a trigger. You have to go fight your opponent. Attack timings. And these are things you want to have in your head from the beginning of the game so that no matter how much you get inside your own head while defending Cyclones and Hellions or BCs or Liberators, you go, no, I move out now, no matter what. So you can't second guess yourself. Because look at this point in this game. 9 minutes 30, you are almost maxed out with a big fucking army. Roach speed's about to kick in. This is your point to win the game. As roach speed kicks in, you should be killing him, building a last few overlords, adding your last Hydra upgrade, and you should at the very least be getting out of the map and killing a third, if not running in there and killing him. But what ends up happening in this game, if we fast forward, so that was 9 minutes 30. Let's look at what evolves for us in that time. Our 2-2 does end up kicking in. It has been 3 minutes at this point, and we've just added 10 Hydras. Other than that, we've put some workers on the 4th. We've started a hive, tunneling claws, burrow. We've injected a couple times. None of this helps us with this army, right? This is the exact same army it was, other than the 2-2 finishing. 3 minutes. Was it 3 minutes? It was 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. It was 9:30, 2 minutes ago. But 2 minutes is a long time when you're on this much economy, right? So if you'd moved out then, like basically if you think of this is just giving your opponent time to get ready. If they're a Protoss, there could be 5 more Immortals out, 6 more Immortals, right? Oh shit, man. Like, you know, if he was building tanks, he could start having tanks all sieged up on the high ground and everything. So basically just having this trigger, it's automatically going to force you to start being more assertive on the map. And you can still send in Overseers or Overlords ahead. Obviously in this game, it was awesome. You had this pervert just sitting there unnoticed the whole game on the pillar above the natural. But basically, let's say roach speed. Roach speed plus 3 bases of drones equals go. The other thing is, imagine even say you've got roach speed, but somehow they're the one attacking into you and you're kind of forced into a more defensive stance for a little bit. The latest possible timing we're going to say is 180 to 190. Yeah, let's say 185 supply equals go as well. Because anytime you get close to your max with Roach Hydra, it's very bad. The longer you sit at max supply, your army, because roaches are really supply inefficient, it just is going to become worse over time. So like we've seen players, oh my god, there was a clip when everyone was complaining about warp prisms before they nerfed the pickup range, where there was a zerg who was up like 100 supply, but it was just roaches. I'm not even sure if they had roach speed. And it was like, I think it was stats on like Port Alexander or one of these maps, and he killed like 80 supply of roaches with 3 immortals and a warp prism. And it was like, okay, that's like a roach army supply lead is not always as strong as it appears to be. So it's really important you use it before your opponent gets up the units that kind of hard counter the roaches. So roach speed and then getting high in supply, either of these, if you hit that, like it's time to get across the map and focus on the aggression. Because remember, early game, you're doing a good job. You're injecting, you're building drones, you're getting up that 3 base. You get a handful of roaches, but then you finish droning, you're getting up to this point. So it's really important for you to just have a trigger where you kind of say, oh, I have to force myself to go attack now. And even if you're a little bit late to realize, maybe it takes you another 30, 40 seconds. Oh, wait, I've got roach speed and 180 supply. Oh shit, I gotta go. That's okay. At least you're getting going a lot faster than what you have been like in this sort of game here. So it's really important to kind of go early game, macro, defend. Once we hit this point, what's our goal? Attack, try to kill our opponent. Our macro is just injecting and building more roaches and hydras. Let's always have 2 overseers in your army as well, so high ground vision doesn't screw us up. That's the last point there we saw with those final fights. What do you think, man?
No, that's cool. Thank you very much.
All right, we've got 2 markers to go punch our opponent in the face now. Your macro looked pretty good. Let me go back through the early game. There was a couple of small supply blocks. I want to take my hat off to you. I think they were really small. Like you notice them all very quickly as soon as you hit them usually. So that's actually like, can we do better? Always. But I that's not a big thing to focus on right now. Keep just trying to macro as well as you can. The big point you had, it's a big point a lot of players I coach have. It's really good droning, really spending all your lava. You're pumping it out. But do you know the point where you stopped pumping out drones as efficiently? It was when you started doing other things with your build. So the kind of problem point, if you look in your document, sorry, you don't have your document open, do you? Or can you see it? I've linked it to you on Discord. It's cool. Sorry, I thought we were we had that one open.
Dude.
But that's cool. It's fine. It's just always good because then you can kind of see this stuff in dot point form, which I think breaks it down a lot better because we've got nice little write-ups. And the thing is, there's always a lot of extra information. So once you've got that open, there's a bit I have highlighted. Let me know when you can see that.
Right. Oh, hello.
Hey, there we go. Awesome. And of course, this is good having the notes so you can read them tomorrow when your brain's fresh, since I know it's kind of late in the evening there. See where I've got highlighted?
Yes.
Yep. So basically, it's at the point where you start going Evos, Roachhorn, Lair, gases. There's like a minute or so where you stop building drones, and then when you did spend them, you weren't always spending all the lava, just because you had so much lava stacked up that I think you thought you were spending it all. So what I want you to just try to remember, as cool as it is that you're getting the Evos, the Roachhorn, the Lair, the gases at a pretty tight timing, if those are a little bit later and a little bit more relaxed, I'm okay with it. But what I want you to do is just remember, like, how is it that you're remembering to put those down? Do you look at your drone count and go, oh, I've got a lot of workers on my expansion, let's put them down? Is it a game time? Is it just a feeling? How do you choose when to put down Evos, Roachhorn, etc.?
It's usually about the time I've either dropped me third, or if I know I can't get me third in a ZvZ, then I'll drop them then. You know, to get, but I'll only drop 1 Evo on a ZvZ because I don't want to.
Do you mean your third hatchery starting or it finishing?
Just once it's on the way and I can see there's money there available. because I try to queue up, like leave enough money to do 2 or 3 things, rather than like going backwards and forwards. Because if I do that, I get really confused and lose track of shit.
Awesome, man. Basically, so you're just kind of leaving it to like when you have enough money. Oh, sweet. We got like 600 minerals. Let's go. Evo, Roach One, Lair, all at once. That's awesome, man. I think the one thing we'd change here is make sure you do it in between a macro cycle. So right after you've just done a round of injecting and building drones. Because you ended up doing it and then an inject finished like right after you started putting down those Evos in the Roach Warrant, and you didn't spend that lava until like maybe a minute later. Because you were just kind of like, okay, Evos, Roach Warrant, then you took gases. So what I wanted you to do is, even if that ends up coming down a little later, you're making sure you're basically saying, hey, that's the stuff I do in between the macro cycles, right? Especially in this first 5 minutes, like just injecting, spend lava, build overlords. Then you can go for the buildings quickly, and then you can start another macro cycle. Oh, it's time to inject and build more units again. So I think that'll be really nice, is just try to kind of tuck those rounds of buildings in between your macro cycles a little bit more. Your macro here, and even with that hiccup, it's still very good. It's still not bad by any means. So I still think the bigger thing is getting across the map and choosing, to do that. But I figured we should hit that point really quickly. Also, quickly before we get into the next thing, dude, I remember you did get a new computer, right?
Yeah.
So with for your buttons, when you're queuing up units, have you been able to adjust the repeat rate and the repeat delay for like holding down a key for like building drones or anything like that? Because I wasn't sure if that was taking a little bit longer or anything. Like if you hold down the roach key or the drone key, is it like very quick at building them all, or does it take a few seconds?
I don't really have a roach key or a drone key, because I am kind of limited to buttons.
Yeah, of course. So, are you clicking them then, or like how are we?
Yeah, it's just mouse clicks.
So if you build 20 roaches, you're ever going to go click, click, click for every single roach, is it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's something where if we can hold down a mouse button or something instead for some of these units, it would definitely help us out. I guess that's just something to add to the list of like, check it out for next time. See if you can find a way to do that, and that should be good. As always, are you still, I remember way back when I think I linked you to the core Discord, just because those guys understand how to create like custom shortcuts and stuff. But that's definitely the place to hang out. You can always get a link for that if you're not in the Discord channel for that, just by typing !core in my chat. So if you're wanting to check that out later, you can't remember, either type it in my chat or just shoot me a message. For now, let's just remember to move out on the map and punch our opponent in the face when we get to that point, hey? This should be good, man. All right, let's do another game. So I think we may have had somebody else who is willing to help us out. Let's see. So you're still in game. Can you hop out? Don't need to be watching the stream now. So we've got a Scurion ready. Was there someone else who was able to help us out? I believe there was someone else who was about the right level, who was a bit more confident with BattleMech. Not that Ascurion was having any trouble. Not that Ascurion was bad with it by any means, but wasn't as experienced, so it'd be cool to play a different map. So we'll create Simulacrum. Kilkenny says I'm around. Yeah, Kilkenny, if you could hop on, that would be great. So Kilkenny is a much higher level Terran, but he's going to just be more of a training partner for us. So he won't ramp up the pressure very quickly, but he'll adapt it a little bit. So if he's being too passive, I'll be like, dude, go fuck with Drolano a bit. And if he's not being aggressive enough and he's being too kind, and sitting back too much, I'll be like, all right, time to go fuck with him. Let's go. Not so much multi-prong harass as we kind of want to see. So hop in EU, chat channel Piggy, Pig2, that sort of stuff. Ascurion, I don't know if you want to watch, you can. You're still in our party for now. So we're just waiting on you to accept the lobby and for Kilkenny to get in on the EU server. Really appreciate you guys helping us out here. My man. Oh, Scurion joined and then left. All right. Where's this wild Kilkenny going? Yes, EU Kilkenny. For anyone who doesn't know, there's a lot of people who'd never change servers. Makes sense. There's a little globe. You don't need to log out or anything. You can just press the globe and change the region up there. I bet Kilkenny's already like Alt F4'd the game and changing it in the launcher, but that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, you can. I mean, can I come watch this, Maru? You better hurry the fuck up, dude. Oh, you're already there. You're already in the channel, Maru. Okay, cool. Maru's about the right level. As always, guys, people who are actually willing to be practice partners and play some games after, because I think some of you guys are actually good levels to play with Drillana. I think Maru is about the same level. I shot Maru an invite, but we're still waiting for just Kilkenny to figure out how to change servers. Should be here momentarily. There it is. I feel like Kilkenny had to like name his account on EU. It's like one of those things. He's like, "Oh, I've never been here before," and it's like, you need to name your thing. Okay, cool. So off the top of your head, trigger for starting to get out aggressive.
Once I've got the second round of upgrades kicking in. Once I go for 2-2, basically, that's when it pushes across the map.
But we don't need 2-2 finished. We do not wait for that at all. So it's roach speed especially.
Yeah, roach speed.
Yeah, roach speed is the important one. So we need roach speed finished. That's the big thing, okay?
Right.
Yeah, that's going to be the big one. Big trigger. Is... oh, Paul did not join. We'll shoot him an invite again. Oh, he's got the achievement lag because he's not logged on to EU. Did you get that recently, Jolana? Where like they're just like 50 achievements pop up on screen when you log in? I had this like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did it when I was doing some stuff in America the other day. It was just like, whoa!
Yeah, it's like, and you're like, what? I remember I was out early the other week and I was logging on for coaching someone off stream before my stream. So it was like, it's like 5:45 in the morning or something. And I saw like Maynard just getting this achievement spin. I was like, what the fuck? What are you doing up so early playing co-op and campaign or something? Like, what are these achievements? And it's like, he just left his account logged in overnight or something. But it was kicking in. So Paul, hopefully can get in here soon. Otherwise we'll just drag Maru in the slot, I guess. Since Kilkenny's computer seems to be shut down from literally every achievement. So how about we just remove Paul and tell his computer? All right. Okay, Maru, you play Battlemech. Let's go. We're going to get some reps in. I don't think Maru's been practicing that. He's just like, I'd be learning mech on the fly. I can do it. That's fine. Take all your gases on 2 base. Make 4 factories with tech labs. 1 with reactor. Mag field. Easy. 2 base battle mech's quite simple. Quite simple to get together. Just need to get the factories up. Awesome. All right, Maru's going to do his best for us. You good, Drillana?
Yeah, man.
All right, sweet as man. Let's go. Good luck. Have fun. Apparently you can just press escape to get out of it. Oh no. Well, enjoy your couple minutes of feeling very special, Kilkenny. Apparently you can just press escape.
Side or yours?
Say what?
I got a massive lag spike there.
Oh, I didn't actually see anything. Maybe just a temporary internet connection. Everybody everywhere is watching Netflix right now. The infrastructure of the world is dying a little.
A little.
I heard Alt F4 works too, says David Burhan. Has anyone ever fallen for that, guys? I remember in Warcraft 3 as like 12-year-old or an 11-year-old in Reign of Chaos. Actually, someone was like, oh yeah, you gotta go like Alt QQ or F10N or whatever. And it gives you something. Like, I still remember actually falling for that one of my first times ever doing like online gaming on Battle.net, and like was in a game and someone was like, yeah, you do this thing, and like I was like, huh, did it, and exit the game, and I was like, what just happened? Yeah, people used it for it. We didn't know. Back in the day, man. I mean, it wasn't Alt F4. I think everybody knew Alt F4 by that point. Most people did anyway, but I think it was like F10N or Alt QQ or something like that. There was some shortcut, right? So he hasn't turned his game sound back on, I don't think. By the way, just remember, if the game sound's not on for you, Control S, since it'll probably be a little awkward playing without game sound if you're not used to it. All right. The whole lobby died laughing at you. At least it was a lobby. You wiped a WoW raid with it once. Your tank's target plates had turned off. You told him Alt F4, turn them back on. He logged mid-fight. Are you Leroy Jenkins, Lindstro? I think a lot of people would be mad with you. You'd be like, oh, it's just a prank, bro. Everyone's like, and you're still kicked from the fucking guild, mate. In laptop is Mercury, and he have always hold it straight, so he did it like for 1 month. Oh my god. That's so silly. Oh, I love how silly people used to be. Like, I always tell the story of how like my dad would block the computer, lock it and stuff, and like steal cables and shit. And it's like, we had a backup cable, we had a backup keyboard that we kept hidden. But the best still was Windows 98, where to get through the password, you literally just had to X the password login box and it would log you into the fucking account without typing a password in. Windows 98, my friends. Oh, what an operating system. Those were the fucking days, man. When we figured out you could literally just X out of the login box and it would log you in. We're like, wait, we didn't even try it, because it was like, we're like, obviously that wouldn't work. So we didn't even try it for like 2 weeks. And then when we realized, we were like, wait, what?
Another queen.
One hell of a security system. To be fair, what's impressive is that Microsoft's actually gotten worse in the 23, 22 years since then. In that now they're the ones who are stealing all your information and data. All right. Just going to pause the game real quick. All right. So we have gone for insanely fast tech and gases this game and a spine crawler. So what's different this game? Did you see something that scared you, or what's been going on with the build order? Because it looks very different this game.
I lost track of something in the beginning, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, fucking hell, just take up. I just sort of lost my train of thought. And then I just went into, oh, hell, I think I'm about to get hit, try and get as much as I can before anything happens. And, you know, if I haven't been hit by 430 by Reapers or Hellions, then it's, I just sort of, like, I skipped ahead a bit on myself.
Yeah, try to fight against that and say, remember, you killed the Reaper at the start of the game. Were you not looking at that? I thought I was on your camera.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that because I just started. I reacted badly because I started 2 more sets of lings, which I should have had on drones. I think that's what kind of threw us a little bit.
Cool. I think what you've got to remember, let's exit out and restart, basically, because that's you're so far behind from where you should be in that game, because you've invested so much money in Evos, Rotor, and gases, to the point where your mineral economy was less than half of where it should have been. And like, you were going to take so long to recover from that. Like, you were going to have a really fast carapace upgrade and a bit faster gas and no minerals to do anything with that. So let's hop out and let's just remake, I think, is the best thing we can do with that sort of game, and say, okay, next time we get thrown off our build, it's really important to have like a system in place to go, wait a second, what do we do next time we're there? Build more drones. if you've been thrown off your build, a lot of people do this thing where they're like, oh, if my opponent's not attacking me, if I'm not sure what's going on, or like if I just get thrown off, like I just go to the tech structure for the late game. Like I see people rushing hydras or rushing roaches or rushing mutas. The thing is, you're actually not even going to be able to build a lot of those units because you won't have the minerals. So it's just fundamentally like not going to work, right? And this is something that even at higher levels, people sometimes do. I see players where like, oh, my opponent normally attacks by now. They didn't. And they just start like doing 5 things at once, right? So you've got to remember that you always need to drone, inject, drone. And if you've built extra zerglings or you've been thrown off, you actually need to put more urgency on just continuing to drone. Even if it feels like your Roachhorn and Evos are a bit later than normal, it's more important for you to keep up just non-stop injecting and droning, and then only a little bit later add the other things. So that should work out really well. So next game, let's just have a slightly cleaner opening. The previous game was much better. Should be cool. Just keep your rhythm. If you get thrown off or anything, don't worry about it. Just keep droning. Put that as the basis of your play. And don't rush up those tech structures. Because even in the previous game where your macro is good, your Evos and Roachhorn were too early. They were like actually too fast. So always err on the side of dropping those a little bit later. Remember, as we said in that first game, it's about keeping the injects going, and only right after fully spending your lava, that's when you want to be going for the Evos and Roachhorn, right after a macro cycle. So we've done all those actions ahead of time. Cool. What's up, Giona? Coaching is $85 an hour. Buy 4, get a 5th free if you buy them up front. Info's in chat. Shoot me an email if you'd like to ask questions. I can just send you out my template. And what's going on there? Ooh, what happened there? Oh, I think you're very far from your mic. Sorry, what was that? Hello? Can you hear me? I can hear a slight echo of myself, or I could before, but I can't actually hear you speaking. Hello? Did he say something, guys? I didn't catch it in the chat because we had him turned down. Hello?
Hey, sorry about that.
Oh, what happened?
It was just someone at the door, one of my friends.
Oh, okay, no worries, mate. I was I didn't catch it because I had you turned down in the game just because obviously some of the audio bleed, but so sorry about that. No worries. Okay, so we'll just restart the game. You could have just hit the pause button. Would have been a little bit better there, so we don't have to remake, I think.
Oh, sorry about that. Just sort of, it was kind of a panic mode, like
Who the hell's at my house?
Yeah.
Boris Johnson's there to breathe COVID on you.
Wow.
vague references aside. Yeah. It is kind of a timer. It's surprising to have someone at the door. Is your mate just dropping over to hang out? We're almost done soon, so I can let you guys go.
He's gone.
Oh, he was just dropping something off? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sweet as, man. You guys ready? Let's do it. Let's smash. Good luck, mate. How long do coaching credits last? I mean, I don't have a firm cutoff, Tacarix. I guess I should probably make it like 6 months. Because too many people otherwise, like, you know, like I've had people like, oh, I got some credits and something. I'm like, that's like from 3 years ago. Like, it's like a different coaching rate, a different time. Like, it doesn't last that long kind of thing. But it's something where basically if people have old credits, I just let them, yeah, they just message me about it. I look at how long ago it was and I just come up to an agreement. Like if it was from many years ago, I might give them half of the credit still. I'm usually pretty kind with it, and that I don't want to just be like, oh, you gave me money and like I'm not giving it back and I'm not giving you coaching or anything like that. That's fucked up. But it's also something where if someone still had a coaching hour left from 5 years ago, I'm like, 5 years ago, really? I'm like, come on, buddy. But if it's like a year, no worries, basically. Oh my god. His achievement's just finished. That's amazing. Hey, Viso. If you click on your notifications in Twitch, you can actually see who gifted you the sub, even if it's a few days ago. Hello, kitty. It probably would have been Sakura. Sakura's been super generous in the last week. There's been a few very generous people. A couple. Oh. All right, let's turn my fan on. It's getting sweaty in here. For those who don't know, by the way, Pig Show's already up on YouTube. Actually, is it? It might not be live. I know it's up there. We normally wait for timestamps. Let me double check. Real quickly. Normally, because then the audio you normally wait for the podcast version to go up and then we release all at once. So yeah, it's still on this. It'll be up in a few hours. Probably like sometime in the next 8 hours. I did a special stream late yesterday, and sorry, scene. Yeah, we had a really good talk with a laser. I really enjoyed it, actually. I really enjoyed talking with a laser. So we had a good time, man. I kept it under, down to casual hour and a half, but it was a good time, yeah. It was very late NA time, absolutely, yeah. If you're East Coast NA, especially, it was incredibly late. I actually thought it was like 4 p.m. my time, so I went live. I was like, guys, Pig Show, a laser, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah. And then I realized it was 2 hours later. So we actually did like a mini ladder stream before it yesterday. Won a few games, kept getting the Australian server. Got to beat players like Parker, beat Jim Rising in ZvT, and then again in PvZ. After he was, as always, complaining. He's like, oh, don't use Zerglings while we're on the Australian server. We need to have an agreement. And I'm like, man, Jim complains so much. Like, even when it's not Australian server, Jim just complains like about Protoss. But whenever it's not that, it's like lag. I'm like, I like Jim, but I find him to be one of the most frustrating people to play against. I'm just like, man, he plays such a like disgusting style of Zerg. And then he goes and always complains. I know he doesn't mean anything by it. It's just his like default. But then I cannon rushed him right after he complained about Zerglings. And I even with Jim, I felt a bit bad about that one. But I was like, cannon rush, pretty good strat, man. Do I still get my coaching credits? Says Kurt. Seems like email would be the right place to ask that. I feel like we coached pretty recently, Kurt. It wasn't that long ago, dude. I think we're good. But yeah. You're only now getting back to your level? Yeah. I mean, Tactics, one thing I would say is don't be afraid to just have a less casual session. Some people go too extreme on being like, I need to be the highest level I've ever been, or coaching is not worth it. And then other people kind of do the opposite. So we've got 3 more queens, and the droning's been a bit more consistent in this game. The rally point in the main has never swapped, though. That's been a big problem. So these drones are just rallying here, and it's getting oversaturated. So now we're going gases before Roachhorn and Evo. So what we see here is a bit of disorganization. And he's going for gases, Evo, Roachhorn, but remember, macro cycle has to be the root of everything. Keep injecting, spending your lava, doing all that stuff. You got tons of lava. You got lots of macro. So I like that you're going to Evo as the Roachhorn, but if you had spent all your lava and done a round of injects first, that would have been just a little bit cleaner there. Doing good though. Way better than that last game. Keep it up, mate. Lots of overlords, lots of drones. Keep smashing it. You just tuned in. You got nervous when I said I'm not coaching people who haven't done it for a while? No. It was okay. Someone was asking how long it is till coaching credits expire, and I was saying that if you literally bought them 5 years ago, then it's a bit over the top.
I ain't got enough for that.
It's all right. Build units, build Zerglings, get your queens down there. You can deal with this. So build around of Zerglings or Roaches, and then just go back to droning and injecting as soon as this gets dealt with. You got this, man.
Our drones are in need of a hero.
No spores, yeah. So build a spore in each base. There's banshees here, and then go back to droning. And what you're gonna do? Oh, don't ever run your drones. Yeah, always leave your drones just mining when there's Hellions there. So the worst thing you can do is pull the drones away unless you're really, really quick. So you want to take your army and attack move it to his base so that your roaches are going to force him home. And you want to build spore crawlers in each base and just hold down the drone key to recover. It's really important we get a spore in each base though. So whenever you get in a desperate situation like this where you take too many drone losses from them diving, you always, this is the move. It's A, move your army just to keep them busy. And in this case, it's actually pulling the banshees home, which is great. And hold down that drone key. It's got to be drones injects, drones injects, drones injects. And that's all you're doing for the next minute, 2 minutes. Just drones, drones, drones. You'd be amazed some of the comebacks you can have and you can make if you just, when you're behind, just hit those drones like no tomorrow. A, move whatever you have on the ground to try and distract them. But focus all of your APM on your macro. Keep hitting those injects. Get that third queen up. And just drone, 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 drone. Yeah. So even the micro you did with the roaches there, I'd be critical of. I don't think that's worth it. You should have been droning and injecting. Yeah. You should have just left your roaches there just because of the APM. It's more about you being efficient right now. Drones, drones, drones. Injects, injects. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Drones, drones, drones. Yeah.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Start. And as you're doing this, keep injecting, keep droning, keep building overlords, and start going for the second Evo, the lair, the gases, and start going for that normal rhythm and just moving your drones around. You absolutely can get back in this game. Kick some ass, man. You got this. He never fixed the rally point, did he? Yeah, yeah. We're going to use those worker rally points. We've never changed the rally in our main all game. That's why it's so oversaturated. So we've got to be, you know, setting the rally points down, moving the workers between the bases. Keep hitting that drone count. You got this, man. Yeah. And forgetting to set that rally early is huge. You want to automate as much as you can in StarCraft. If you're not setting rally points ahead, it just drains your APM. Oh, it's oversaturated again? Fuck, I got to grab workers. 30 seconds later, oh, it's oversaturated again? Oh, fuck, I gotta move these workers down. It's just a massive waste of APM. If you're not playing insanely fast, and even if you are, it's just wasted APM. All right, let's get that lair going. Let's start making a shit ton of roaches here. And getting another Evo chamber up in the main next to that one so we can make a second upgrade. And let's start putting workers on the gas on the third. Oh, yeah, man. Okay, Ovies and Roaches, that's all you're building now. You've got the worker count that you need, basically, for the rest of this game. We just need to mass Roaches like a madman. Go straight for Roach speed when the lair finishes, and you are still in the driver's seat in this game. You still got a good shot here. Yeah, it's easy to go, oh, I'm not meant to take this damage, I'm fucked, right? Even seeing those Hellions when he kind of was just like, oh, I don't have enough for that. It's so important to go, this is going to be bad. Cool. Build some units to defend, bring your units to defend, and then focus super hard on droning. Basically, like, even if you know you're going to take damage, once you've built the units that are going to clean it up, especially something like a Hellion run by, it's not something where there's a sustain to it, right? It's not like having a big pack of Hellbats or Immortals where it's like, oh, this is a hard army to kill, right? It's I will eventually clean this up even with just my queens. So sometimes you don't even build fighting units. You just hold down the drone key saying, I know I'm going to lose a lot of drones, let's do it. And never, ever run your drones from a base. That is just like, you only do that if you do it far enough ahead of time. If you see the Hellions brooming in here and you run the drones up into the main and then like block your ramp or something, okay, that makes sense. But if they're already here or even here and you start running, all you're doing is presenting a firing line for them. It actually takes a lot of APM on those Hellions if the worker line's like this, and most people won't line them up properly to kill more than 2 or 3 drones at a time with a volley. Spore crawler, yeah, yeah, yeah. Goodbye, banshees. Get fudged. Oh, very nice.
We hulked this out.
Yeah, a few more overlords. Get that Hydra Den down. You've got the worker count you need for the rest of this game. It's still, let's max on roaches while we're getting that Hydra Den ready. All right, roach speed's almost ready. So I want you to be finishing your max out right now on roaches and getting out on that map, because guess what? Roach speed's going to be kicking in by the time you meet him. It's only 20 seconds away. All right, non-stop roaches and hydras. Go kick some ass, man. Go fight. You remembered Overseers. Yes. I'm so proud. There's only one tank, which is awesome for us. And they're not in Hellbat form. Hellbat's much better just for absorbing damage, and if the roaches like headbutt into them. Why is he waiting? What's he doing? Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. People dilly-dally so long. It's like there should be so much urgency around fighting right here. Maybe he's waiting for the Overseers. And then they do this thing as well a lot, where like they kind of stand in range. They go, hey, look, my army's here. And give their opponent as much warning as possible. Like, he could have glimpsed that army by now, and all it would do is give your opponent time to siege and get ready and stuff. Not bad, Micro. Tank took a long time to go down. Alright, he's doing a good job. Terran wins the fight. That was mostly Hellions, mate. That was mostly Hellions with one tank. If there was 2 more tanks in there, sure. Oh, he's focused on his production. So, unfortunately, the A moved to the wrong position. I'm going to let him find it. I'm not going to say anything. My man. But he didn't micro his army. Even if he did, you struggle against that many roaches. With that much Cyclone Hellion, you can't really move up and down a ramp. Like, when you get to fights that big, if you're sitting at home, Cyclones just aren't that good. If they're picking off the roaches from over here and fighting their way back, sure. But the thing is, like, it's going to take a lot of micro and APM. And anytime you get in a mineral line with the roaches and hydras, the Cyclones kind of need to stand and fight. The Terran doesn't know how to mech it up. It's the Silver League StarCraft, guys. What do you... You can watch a diamond who really knows how to play a style quite well and say he doesn't know how to play compared to a pro. It's a different thing. Obviously, like, I don't know if Maru has ever played this style that much, but, you know, we're just trying to go through the motions. All right, from shit show to victory. That's what we like to see, mate. Obviously, we weren't quite ready at the start. So one thing is we just never changed the rally point in the main. Because of that, your main was getting oversaturated. And then you kind of went like... You started going gases first, which you normally go Roach Warren. You go double Evo, Roach Warren, Lair, and then gases is how you've done it in the past. But you just kind of changed the order. And you kind of started taking some gases, and then one Evo, and then like Hellions came in and freaked you out. So just try to stick to that same consistent rhythm a little bit. What's really awesome there though is like you can see the power of just getting back in the game by just focusing on drones really hard, right? And especially if you're ever in that situation where it's a Hellion dive, do not ever run your drones away like that. Because all it does is present a target. Yeah, it feels bad to have those Hellions drive around and start just shooting the drones, but I guarantee you they will not kill them as quickly as if you run the drones away. It's better for you to just sit them there because they're kind of naturally a bit spread out on the mineral line, even though they're not perfectly spread. And a lot of the time people won't focus fire properly, so they won't maximize the splash. They'll often only hit 2 or 3 drones with a shot. And if they don't micro well, obviously your roaches and queens get on them. They start shooting the roaches and queens. They actually ignore the drones. So that would have been good. But I love that move there of saying, I'm going to attack move my roaches across the map once they've killed these Hellions. And that's just going to hopefully kill some stuff. All of my attention is injecting and droning right now. And just, we got the single spore in each mineral line to make sure the banshees don't ruin us. And you got back from like 18, 19, 20 drones. You were at a nothing work account into getting a big enough economy, making roaches, and then going and just attacking with roach speed. Now, obviously, there's a lot more complications that can happen, but it's still confidence boosting here to know, okay, this game went off the rails early, but with focus on the right things, we can always bring it back. So for you, roach speed as quickly as possible, you know, getting that early game build order down where once again, when you were going the evos and the gases, you were kind of doing it, but you paused production as you did it, right? So if we'd just injected and built some more stuff there, that would have been great. And then kind of go into the building. So I guess if we want to take the biggest takeaways from today, obviously read through the notes tomorrow, go over it all and whatever. Number one, always prioritize keeping those macro cycles going. And it's okay for the Evos and the Roach Warren and stuff to be just a little bit later. Roach Warren should probably be the first one of those structures, but just try to stick to the same order of those structures. Don't change it every game. Then it's hard to get a rhythm. If one game you go gases, one game you go lair, one game you go Evos, another game you go Roach Warren, it's hard to get consistency. So just try to stick to the same order so it becomes a real like trigger point where it's something, bam, it's a set play. So prioritize the macro first. Get the set play of the buildings. And number three, as soon as Roach speed hits, you're out on that map just looking for a fight. And I love that you remember the Overseers in that game, by the way. That was awesome, man. That was really good to see.
Cool. Cheers.
Awesome, mate. I think you can apply these rules in all matchups as well. These are all very general things that will help you in all matchups. Doing a Roach Hydra 3-base style, right? 3-4 base. So I think this should be really awesome, man. Read the notes tomorrow. If you guys can play some games, please do. Let's get I don't know if Kilkenny wants to play, but I think Maru might be down for some more games there. And I'm gonna make you the party leader, dude. Let you guys play some games. I guess we'll give a little bit of advice for Maru.
Cool.
Just off 2 to 3 base, 5 factory, focus on locking on scanning and pulling back and being a kiting mofo. Best way to play battle mech and tilt the zerg. Don't focus so hard on macro. So your cyclones can kite their way to victory. That's the real fucker style of cyclones. So hopefully Maru, if he's willing to play a few more games, I reckon you'll really enjoy it, Maru. He can start getting that real battle mech fuckery. That is the shit you want to get as many reps against as possible. And hopefully you can start doing a bit of that, run back to break the lock on, run up a high ground or something, run forward and try to jump on those cyclones and focus them down, pull back when they run away. Like whenever you're not ready to fight, like if you've only got a handful of roaches against a handful of cyclones, you've got to do some of that. Once you get to the big army, just go punch them in the face. Just tank it. Go, go, go. Sounds good? Any last questions or anything? You feeling good for your practice, mate? I can't hear you. Hello? Oh no. British internet? Dying? Chat, confirm you guys can hear me. Oh no.